Hey guys, welcome back to Blind Strike Exotics. I'm John, and this is Hissy Elliott. She is my black pastel female. The reason I have her out here today is because we're going to do a video on what I think are the top 5 craziest, most beautiful, insane, unexpected morph combos that I have in my collection. These are snakes where you take 2, 3, 4 genes, put them together, and they look nothing like what the base genes look like. And so she's out here because she's the closest thing I have to a normal. I don't have any normal ball pythons. She's a single gene black pastel, and she may be one of the only ones that have just a single gene animal. So she's sort of our control group, the baseline for what a normal ball python looks like. And, you know, comparing her to everything else on the list is going to be really cool. So I'll do my top 5 craziest, most insane morphs combos in this video. We'll get started in a second. Please remember to like and subscribe to my channel. Hit the little bell down there. We're, as we speak, like maybe 15 subscribers away from hitting 1,000, and I'm sure by the time this video goes up we might be over that, but I want to get more than 1,000 subscribers and just keep climbing and growing the channel and keep putting out awesome content. So let's get into the list. All right, number 5 on the list is my super enchi ghost female. She is just a remarkably striking animal and is literally probably the worst handleable female in my collection. So I'm sure this segment's gonna be short because she's gonna try to run away. You guys, I can throw up a picture of what just a single gene enchi looks like. This is the ghost, which is also known as hypo. It's a recessive trait. It kind of washes out the color a little bit. She's just absolutely striking. She's a bright yellow. This banding here is almost sort of like a grayish brown color, and she's just kind of a very pale color combo. And you know, just making a bunch of super enchi ghost babies in the future would be awesome for somebody to have. She is just striking. She has beautiful eyes, and we probably won't get them on the camera because she's going to keep running. I got her like in a big collection last summer, and I just got her because she was a nice sized female and she's super enchi and she had a recessive trait in her. But she became like one of my favorites just from that point in time. She's almost like a bright yellow color. Like she looks like a lemon. Just beautiful. Awesome banding, awesome pattern, awesome colors, and you know, just adding that ghost in there really makes a huge change in what she overall looks like. Just awesome animal. Let's take a look at number 4. All right, number 4 is my super pastel, super vanilla calico female. A couple months ago, I was just looking for some females that I could grow out, adding some genes in my collection I didn't have. I didn't have any vanilla, and I didn't have any calico either. So she's at least 1.5 years out from breeding. But the calico gene is a really cool combo gene that works well with a lot of other ones. She's obviously going to pass on the pastel and the vanilla to all of her offspring. But adding those genes together, especially the super forms of the pastel and vanilla, it really just washes out a lot of her pattern. You can definitely still see it, and it even fades out going down from her neck, going all the way up her back to the point where it almost completely fades out towards her tail. She's an awesome snake, and she even, like, her head is just completely white. She still has the eye stripes, but the top of her head is just all white. She's beautiful. She's a little feisty, but sometimes when you get them young, they are feisty like that. But she's just awesome. I'm really excited to get her growing back into my breeder female collection. She is also very intense yellow color. It seems like I have a lot of yellow snakes in my collection. But she's eating like crazy. She's eating all the time for me. So hopefully, sooner rather than later, she is in my collection making beautiful
hatchlings and killing it for me for the next couple years. Let's take a look at number 3. All right, number 3 on the list, and you might be surprised he's not higher on the list because if you saw one of my other videos, my most expensive, he's my most expensive snake. But he's coming in at number 3 because this is my list, and it's what I think is the coolest in the collection. He's my pastel leopard phantom highway male. He's an absolute stunner. He is going to crush it for me, once he's big enough to breed. I love it. But it's not completely unexpected, as much as number 2 and number 1, because this pattern on his back is very reminiscent to what you see on a leopard ivory ball python. Leopard is like one of the only genes that breaks through the ivory, which is typically an all-white snake. And if you look closely to leopard ivories, they have this pattern. It's just extremely faint. It's just that when you have the highway combo, which an ivory is a super yellow belly, a highway is a yellow belly and a gravel put together. You usually see a lot more pattern and color in a highway. And putting the leopard and the pastel and the phantom in here just brings out a bunch of other colors with it. Super bright, I call them yellow lightning bolts. There's like this dark color here is sort of like almost like a purpley black. And I don't know if you can see it, but there's between the yellow and the darker color, there's some really almost like a blue color. I don't know if you're gonna see it or not. This lighter color there, and it's just awesome. He's a beautiful snake. He is eating food for me very well. And he has a beautiful head stamp too. It's just like pure white. Great snake. All white belly. Beautiful pattern. Looks like he has lightning bolts going down his back. I was thinking of a name for him, and I keep mentioning that he has lightning bolts on him. And I'm thinking that maybe the best thing to call him is Zeus. I don't know. Comment down below if you think that it's a good name for him. So let's put this boy back away. He's got a little rat in his belly, so we'll let him relax and we'll get to number 2. All right, number 2 on my list here is Big Puma. I got this guy earlier in the summer of 2020, couple 100 grams, and he has not only crushed food for me, but he has crushed the breeding process this season. He is an Orange Dream leopard enchi pinstripe male. Putting any 3 of those genes together or 2 of those genes together makes a beautiful snake. But when you put them all together into this 4-gene animal, if you'll let me unwrap him, maybe you don't need to unwrap him, he looks like a cheetah. That's why he has the name Big Puma. I didn't think Big Cheetah sounded like a good name. He literally has like big cat spots going all the way down his back. He's just like a nice, he's like a darker yellow color, and he has these beautiful spots going all the way down. They start off as stripes, but then they just turn in these beautiful big cat spots. They look like a leopard or a cheetah. He is solid, and he's actually one of the most fun snakes to feed because he's always ready to eat, and it's almost like he knows what day it is. He's sitting right at the front of his tub with his nose pressed up right in the corner. In the second that he sees that rat, he's up out of the tub, and I usually have to physically pull the rat while he's holding onto it back into the tub to get him in there, or else he'd literally be eating the rat off the side of the tub. Very acrobatic. Maybe one day I'll catch it on video and I can show you guys. But he has been a fantastic breeder, a fantastic eater. He's put on a ton of weight. He may actually be one of my biggest males at this point. I'm breeding him to my 2 super enchi Orange Dream females and a leopard enchi female, and I may start breeding him to my super enchi Ghost female. So there should be a lot. Hopefully I produce a lot more of these this season, and they'll be available for you guys hopefully in a couple months. Now let's take a look at number 1 on the list. All right guys,
number one on the list, the most beautiful, crazy, insane morph combo that I have is this girl right here. She is a Sterling Lesser female. Sterling is super pastel in cinnamon, and Sterlings are a beautiful combo by themselves, but they're not completely unexpected. I would have never thought that just adding the lesser gene into this female would do this. Absolutely stunning, and I'll show you more of her in a second, but I want to show you what a Sterling looks like without lesser. Beautiful snake, and she's, I feel like, almost a high expression Sterling. A really, really good example of what Sterling looks like, but there's still a ton of pattern on her. As you can see there, she's very dark. It's definitely bringing the yellows in, but she's a very dark animal. And when you compare and contrast that to what this girl is, I never would have thought that putting one more gene into this snake would produce this snake. So I'm going to put her back and we'll take a closer look at the Sterling Lesser. Now, this girl, I saw her pop up on Morph Market probably last summer, and the second I saw her, I knew I needed to have her. And to be honest, it wasn't even that expensive. You know, you think this would maybe be an animal that's a couple grand, but it wasn't. It was sub $1,000. And as you can see, she's already breeding size too. I probably bought her maybe around 1,000 grams or so. She's easily 1,700 grams at this point. I mean, she's just awesome. And she's the one snake that I open up the tub and I think to myself, she is just awesome. You can see, I'm actually looking at her in better light now. There's very faint pattern right there. You know, the pattern you can see in the Sterling female that I had out. But she literally just kind of looks like a banana. She has super bright yellows. She has the stripe going down her back that's like a grayish brown. Her head stamp is just so cool. Look at that. If I can keep her in the camera there. Just an awesome head stamp. She has a great temperament. She loves to eat. Not now because she is breeding with my cinnamon GHI Mojave male. So she's really not eating right now too much, but I mean, she packed on a ton of weight over the 6-7 months I had her before we started breeding. But I mean, this animal is literally the craziest example of what adding one more gene into a snake can do, which is why there still is a lot of experimenting that needs to be done. You know, with putting genes together. I mean, I don't think anybody would have thought that you have super pastel cinnamon snake and you put lesser into it and it does this. This is absolutely crazy. And, you know, for all the mad scientists out there breeding snakes, you know, it's a challenge that everybody is facing going forward. Is, you know, how do I produce the coolest next best thing? And I'd be happy just to see a couple more of these around. I don't think I have any males that I'm breeding this year that have pastel on them, so I can't recreate this year. But maybe next year I get something that has pastel or super pastel, and I can try to recreate more of this animal, because she's absolutely beautiful, and I'd love to see more of them kind of floating around. I haven't seen another one like her. I'm sure they've been made, but they're not very common. So hopefully you guys have the ability to snag one of these if they show up again, or something that looks very similar to it. But look at that. She is just the coolest looking snake. Absolutely beautiful. And I mean, she's kept the same exact color the whole time I've had her, so, you know, hopefully as she gets bigger and bigger and bigger every year, she keeps the beautiful color and beautiful pattern, and make some beautiful offspring too. Alright guys, that is it. That is my top 5 craziest, most beautiful, insane, most unexpected morph combos that I have in my collection. This list is probably something I'll do every year, because I guarantee you this time next year I'll have 5 new snakes that probably bump up into this list that completely change the order of everything. But But for right now, these 5 just absolutely blow my mind. Every time I open up the tub, I'm thinking to myself, I can't believe this came out of a normal ball python, that somebody was able to extract these genes and breed them out, that this came out of that little brownish cocoa-y colored snake out of West Africa. So hopefully you guys have the ability to find these needles in the haystacks of Morph Market, so you guys have the same ability to just look in awe at your snakes every time you see them. Thanks for stopping by. That's it for today, and please remember to like and subscribe. See ya.